Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we have another top 10 for you, and this is our top 10 favorite abstract games.
All right, so when we first were coming up with this list, we thought it was going to be really easy.
Yeah.
Abstract, things without a theme, right? But then upon doing further research, abstract has over time meant a lot of different things, and it's kind of like an assumed what it means.
Yeah.
So one of the things is lacking a theme, right? Or having a very thin theme that's more of just like a veneer over the top of it. Another thing is a lot of abstract games have what's called perfect information, meaning all the information that you're able to do on your turn is out for everyone to see. So, think of a game like chess, right? All the boards are out there. You can see what your opponent's options are on your turn. Yeah. All right, so then the third thing that has to do with is not a lot of luck, or luckless, in fact. But there's a whole lot of examples of abstract games that are mostly themeless, or mostly perfect information, or mostly luckless. So all these games are on that spectrum of abstractness. However, there's going to be some arguments, I'm sure. If you have any comments, be sure to let us know in the comments below what your definition...
Tell us how we're wrong.
Let us know what your strict definition of an abstract game is, and what a good example of that would be.
All right, yeah, our definition changed.
Our definition changed over the course of kind of researching for this list.
Yes.
We even did some research on our Twitter, and it's just polled some of you guys, and even that result was different from some other things that we'd seen, so it was just really fun to see.
Yeah. Nobody agrees is basically what we're saying.
What it amounts to.
So I'm going to kick this party off, and I'm going to start with our number 10, which is BUTINE. This is a really fun bee game. It's so hard, though, right? So what it is you're trying to get these different patterns. You're trying to get your bee to go to these different flowers in a certain order. Here's the problem. Everybody's playing the exact same bee character, and so they're going to move it, and it's totally going to screw up what you can do. So you're playing these tiles to create like a bigger flower garden, also trying to move the bee around to get it to touch the flowers you need to in the order that you need it to happen, but that's going to mess up other people, and other people are going to mess up you. This game was a lot thinkier than we thought it was going to be when we first played it. And I remember playing this with Matt, and we were all just like, whoa. There is a lot to this game.
All right, so our number 9, this is AZUL. This game is all about drafting these tiles out of this pool of tiles, and you can everybody can see them, and you're adding them onto your board. You are trying to fill up your board with a number of tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then once you fill them in, you fill them across onto your own personal little board. If you get too many of a certain color, that's going to cost you negative points. If you don't get enough, you don't get a chance to actually swing that over and put it onto your board at the end of the round. So it's all about matching up these colors, drafting the right amount of tiles, and this is... Yeah, the theme is basically, I don't know what it is. You're building a quilt, or maybe you're building I don't know what it is. But it's themeless. It's all these tiles, and these really, they look like Starburst candies almost.
Yeah.
I actually saw a friend of ours post about playing a game of AZUL with Starburst, and that was really, really funny.
All right, guys, our number 8 is Rock, Paper, Switch, and this is just a different take on, the chess mechanisms with rock, paper,
Scissors.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I was going to say switch again.
The game is rock, paper, switch, but something else is going on here.
So you're moving your components across. You want to be the last man standing. But what it is all of the pieces are rocks, papers, or scissors. And it's just what you think. So if a scissors comes across the paper, the scissors overtakes it. But if a rock comes across the paper overtakes it, right? And then if rocks comes across a scissors, then the rock gets the scissors, right? So you have all these 3 different tiles and your pieces, and you're putting them across the board, trying to overcome everybody else's pieces, but you have to do it strategically, and you have to make sure to at least have one of every kind left so you can defeat other people's pieces. It was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Took 2 other abstract games and made them into another
yes.
abstract game. All right. So our number 7, this is a game called Team Up. I think it's pretty rare to find an abstract cooperative game. But in this game, it is a cooperative game where you are trying to fill a palette together. Yeah. And there are, these kind of rectangle pieces. There's these tall, skinny pieces. And there's all different colors. There's small little cubes. There's all different shapes that you need to pack on this palette. But there's rules about rectangles can't touch rectangles, squares can't touch squares. Reds can't touch reds, that kind of stuff. So you have to, you're drawing a card. It's going to tell you what kind of shape or color you're allowed to play that round. And then, cooperatively, you're trying to figure out how to put this on this palette so that you can complete the palette. The higher up you're able to get, the more points you're going to get. In order to complete the palette in its entirety, getting all the way flush to the top is really, really challenging. I think maybe we've accomplished it once, but again, this is a tough one. And maybe it doesn't fit the strictest definition of abstract, but overall, it's at least 2 out of the 3.
Yep. Our number 6 is, hey, that's my fish.
Hey, it's my fish.
So, hey, that's my fish.
Hey, that's my fish.
That's my fish. So anyway,
That's my fish.
Totally my fish. So in this game, you are penguins going across this board trying to collect fish. The thing is, whenever you move across the board, tiles get taken away. So eventually what's going to end up is that you're kind of in this island all by yourself, and when you can't move anymore, you're out of the game. Also, the little penguin meeples are just super fun. They're really cute and adorable. But so that's all you're doing, and then whoever has the most fish at the end wins. But it's you really have to think about where you want to move because you're getting rid of stuff every place you move. So you're creating these holes and gaps. And sometimes you might try to carve out a space just for you so you can work on it later while everybody else is fighting for stuff. That's a really popular strategy. I haven't been able to do that strategy, but it's a popular one. I know because I get cut out of it all the time.
Because that's my fish.
It is Ryan's fish.
I told you all along. All right, so our number 5 is 6. This is a game called 6. What you're trying to do is you are laying out tiles, taking turns one at a time, laying out a tile. What you're trying to do is, they're kind of hexagonal pieces. Again, 6. Hex 6-sided. And you are trying to create a shape that's 6 pieces long. Either a straight line that's 6 tiles in a row, or a triangle consisting of 6 pieces, or a circle consisting of 6 of these pieces. So you're trying to create that shape, but everybody can see what you're doing. It's a 2-player game only, it's not everyone. Your opponent can see what you're doing. They're going to try to block you. You're going to try to block them. You're going to try to block and build at the same time, which is pretty fun. And then ultimately, you might run out of tiles when you do that. And then you're able to move tiles that you've already placed into other places of the board. Again, trying to finish off things that you've started, trying to complete a shape of these 6 pieces. It is a perfect abstract in every way. Takes all the boxes. It's a fun 2-player game. We taught it to our daughter recently, and she is a shark at it. She's amazing.
Yeah, it was on her list, wasn't it?
Yeah, she actually put it in her top 5 of all time.
Yeah, she really, really likes this game.
Yeah, so our number 5?
6. Our number 4 is Patchwork, and there's so many different versions of this game out now, but essentially what you're doing is there's tiles that you're drafting, but all the tiles are out there and your board is all out there. So this is one of those perfect information things. Everything is there available for you before you start the game. And you're trying to put them on your tile, but you have to spend, is it time?
Yeah, there's 2 resources. The amount of time it takes to sew on a patch and buttons.
Yeah.
There's 2 resources.
There's those resources that you're trying to get, and you have to spend them in order to go further, to get certain patches to go on your tile, or on your patchwork. And so this is a really fun, simple game. I remember when everything was, when everything was last year, this was a game that I played a lot with she's 8 now, but she was 7 at the time, and so she schooled me on this. I love tile laying things, but I guess I gave that to her just in spades, right? She totally schooled me on this every single time she played it, and I'm she's cheating. She's totally cheating somehow. And she wasn't cheating. She was just better than me. A lot better than me.
All right. Number 3 we want to talk about this is Hive. This is another game of those hexagonal pieces. It's these really big, nice, chunky pieces. And there's different versions of this as well. There's a mini version, a pocket version. There's a reverse color, all black tiles. Is a really cool looking. But once again, it's a 2-player abstract game. You have your army of bugs that you're going to be trying to surround the queen bee of the other player. So, every bug can do a certain thing. Grasshopper can hop over pieces. There are pill bugs that can climb on top of the hive and then drop down in. There's ants that can crawl all around the exterior of it. Spiders can move 3 spaces. There's all these different rules all these different things have. Again, you're just trying to surround the queen. The hive cannot be broken up. The hive has to stay together, so all your pieces have to be touching. And if you move something, it can't break up anything into more than one. If there's two sections separated by something in the middle. You can't move this one because then it would make it two separate pieces. It has to be one hive. That's the name of the game. All right, so yeah, that is a game that if someone is into a game like, let's say, chess and wants to up that perfect information and they want to challenge themselves in a two-player scenario, this is the game for them.
Well, what's nice about Hive and Six is they don't require, like, you can play them anywhere.
Right, they don't need a board or anything.
Yeah.
They're just tiles.
Yeah, so that's really nice about those two games. Our number 2 is Project L. This game is phenomenal. So you have these different boards with these recessed portions in the middle, and you're trying to draft these tiles to fill those up, and once it's filled up, you are able to score the points for this. But what is amazing about this game is every time we've played it with new people, they buy it afterwards.
It's just so novel. Yeah.
It's just so simple. The choosing to have those really dark contrasting the blackboard and having it like recessed like that, it just looks stunning with very little components on the table. And as you're trying to upgrade your pieces, because you can trade a piece to get higher pieces and do something that take up more space or are weird, and the tiles that have more empty spaces on them obviously score more. So there's a lot, but it's so simple. Like, it's just so easy and simple. Anybody can learn this game. Not everybody can master this game. But our number 2 is Project L.
All right, so our number 1 game is a game that I play almost daily on my phone. This is Onitama. Basically, you have a whole bunch of tiles. You're going to shuffle them up at the beginning of the game, and you are going to choose 5 of them. 5 cards that are going to be your movement options throughout the game. You're going to have 2 in front of you. Your opponent's going to have 2 in front of them. And there's going to be one that's going to be kind of switching back and forth. So as soon as you play a tile, it goes into their area that they can choose from. And it kind of keeps on rotating back and forth. So you always have 2 things to choose from, and what the choices are constantly changing. And you know what the options that they're able to play with are. They can see the options that you are able to play with. What you're trying to do is you are either trying to have your leader sit on their leader's starting spot, so get them all the way across the board without getting killed, or take out their leader. So it's a really fun game. The replayability is almost endless because of every time you play, you have a different set of movements that you're able to do. So from game to game, it's going to be very, very different strategies that you try to attempt. But again, this is again a perfect abstract game, and it is again a replacement for chess for me. If I never had to play chess again, I could just play this with people. I would just love that.
Yeah. Everybody, that is our top 10 list. We want to know what games on here you're like, yes, definitely. What games on here have you not played of or not heard of? And what games on here are you like, Ryan and Bethany?
That wasn't even an abstract.
Ryan and Bethany. Come on now. We want to know. Leave your comments below. Until then, make sure to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. You can also find us on Facebook, we're Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. On Twitter, we're Ryan and Bethany 1. And on Instagram, we are Ryan and Bethany.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.